song was about to end out, but I was like, I'll just cut it 15 seconds early. Who cares? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another unofficial H3 waiting room. Why does my mic look like it's really quiet? How does that sound? Does that sound okay? We all good? Weird. Yes, we shaved it. We shaved my head fully. I have to say, shaving your head is really hard. Like getting it fully all the way down. It's still like there still feels like there's like a tiny bit of hair. I got too much. Gotta come bald. It sounds fine? Okay. Thank you. We'll just hope for the best, really. Cause yeah, from my end it looks weird. I don't know, not. Yeah, it's the Dance to Bond costume. Easy as. Okay. So let us get started. We have a few Reddit posts to look at today, and then we're going to jump right in to the content cop on empaths by Cameron F305. And, you know, I think that at some point the like collargate stuff is going to kind of just fall to the wayside just because and like I've really been considering this, and I do just think that people need to stop talking about Hassan so much. I know I get some joy. We get some joy from joking about it, you know.
Why do people keep saying Superman Hassan superhero W?
Stupid sexy Hassan, why won't he fuck me? Stupid sexy Hassan, why do all the girls like him?
And you know, like those are funny bits. But when you're trying to like prove this point over and over again that Hassan's a piece of shit, like we all know that. You know what I mean? Like we all know that, and his fan base is just going to keep doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down, quintupling down, sextupling down, septupling down, octupling down, nonupling down, decupling down. I think I skipped one in there, but we're all good. Real, I've never bicked my head, but buzzing it all perfectly takes forever. No, literally, I was in the shower just going with the razor, getting it good. Is it incriminating to say I've held off on watching because I prefer your coverage? Nah, do you have to go give it at least a little watch? Go give it a like. Go give it, you know, Cameron's videos are great. He's also been, go check out other videos on his channel as well. Here, I'll give him an epic shout out right now. Go check out Cameron F305. His most recent video, oh, I didn't see this one. But he did do a content cop on Hassan as well. Gaming has changed a lot. Stop killing games. Made a video on that from months ago. But yes, the content cops I do think are his bread and butter right now. But this came out one day ago. I think it's almost 2 days ago at this point. But it's great stuff. That's not the point. We're not making a market substitute. We are creating transformative content to give my own 2 cents into the whole idea. What is empathy? Empathy versus sympathy. I watched it on its own, and it's way more entertaining to watch with Papa Good's commentary. See, the way I've always thought about it's like this. I'm this type of person. I'll watch it on my own, which we're going to do with chat right now. And then a lot of times I'll watch it, like, because I like to develop my own thoughts, but then I'll watch like a Papa Gut reaction or a Nicholas Diorio reaction or other reactions. You know, like find a few different people, get some opinions. And it never feels like I'm like, it never feels redundant, I guess. But I'm also the type of person where I rewatch the same shows a million times. Like I've seen, like I always say this, but Malcolm in the Middle. I've watched every episode of that show multiple times. More recently in like my life, I've watched King of the Hill every episode all the way through. Like I know a lot, and it never feels like weird going back. I'm like, ah, I love this part, you know. But yes, let us get into the Reddit posts real quick. Cameron does deserve the views. He's putting in a lot of hard work and effort into these great videos. But damn, the Moist Critical video really got under Hassan's skin. I didn't watch the Moist Critical video on stream, but I didn't finish it, I don't think, because it was kind of, Charlie just he blabbers on a bit, I gotta be honest. I used to like his content, and then I grew up. I don't even mean that to be rude. I think that it's just the way that he presents himself is more suitable to a slightly younger audience, and maybe not even that. Maybe it's just like a slightly less engaged audience, people that are like playing video games or doing something else and aren't necessarily paying a full attention to what the video is. But he basically outlined the whole situation and gave his 2 cents on why he thought it was wrong. And Hassan feels very scorned. The best Malcolm in the Middle scenes are when Dewey was making the opera, when he's making it about his parents fighting. That's a pretty good one. The Dewey subplots are always the most entertaining, but the Francis subplots are always the most crazy. The Reese subplots are either like very nonsensical or insane, because there's that one two-parter where he goes and fights in Afghanistan or whatever. I don't think they say where he's fighting specifically, but he joined the military. He ran away. The reason Critical's commentary pissed off Hassan is because Critical's audience is full of normies, and Hassan wants more normies to love him unconditionally. That's honestly a fair... I hadn't thought about that aspect, but Charlie really is like a... He's like the most basic YouTuber. Here, one second. I need to turn off this fan, I just realized. But Charlie really is like the normie's favorite YouTuber, you know what I mean? And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. Thank you. I did it. Whoa. But Charlie is getting under his skin because he's a friend of the Jewish. So true. But let's get into it. Let's get into what Hassan actually thinks about Charlie.
Even breathe in the direction of Moise if I were you, to be honest. I mean, he put his fucking flag on the, he put his stake on this, okay? He was like, oh, enough people shit on him. It's good enough. It's like obviously not a, it's obviously, no matter how fucking made it.
I will say, I do find it funny that when everybody calls out Moist Critical, Charlie, Penguin Zero, they always point out that like he's either a fence sitter or he's just going with like, not even a fence sitter. They usually think that he's just going with whatever is the most popular opinion, and kind of just rolling with that. And honestly, the part I feel is what I just said, which is that Charlie just kind of blabbers on. Like Ethan has pointed out, it does a lot of times feel like that. It remind him shocking his dog is like if I punched my foreskin really hard over and over, expecting it to retract on its own before I peed. It'd be something like that, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It is an odd delivery sometimes, I guess. It's a little bit entertaining to see him flail because most people draw the line at animal cruelty. Yeah, I will say that this, as I said, I do think people need to talk about Hassan less, but this instance is very topical and has spanned across multiple communities, and it's because people love animals, and it's kind of hard to get out of, I'm a piece of shit to my animal. And people have been pointing out too, we're going to see in some of these other clips, I think, that she had a bigger bed at one point. He put her in like this smaller bed so he could get this different camera angle. He wanted his good side.
Up a narrative it is. If a clip looks bad enough, then he will go with it. And he will just use these guys. All these guys fucking do is basically farm Reddit for talking points. And Reddit can so easily be botted and manipulated. And I don't think we're ever going to get ahead of that. There's just nothing we can do. Bro, he said you're abusing Kyle. Like, no way, fuck him. Yeah, I mean, if he thinks that, he can suck my dick. Weird how quiet he was about literal pedophilia in certain communities. I mean, it took him 2 years to fucking come out and be like, yeah, the genocide is happening and it's really fucking bad, actually.
I do like that everybody does Charlie's voice, though. It's too easy. I wonder, because he said when he went to college, I know a bit about Charlie. I've been a fan of his for years, too. See, and that's the thing, is I'm not saying that his content's bad. It's just hard I'm not going to watch every single piece of his, like, content because that feels redundant. It feels like a lot of the time he's kind of just going off on the same like tangents and stuff. Yeah, people thought Charlie was black before he did a face reveal. Hey man, that's just showing your own internal bigotry and biases. What made you think he was black, huh?
So Charlie's been on a good streak lately. He genuinely cares about dogs. He talks about how much he cares about dogs and pets all the time. So do I, dumb fuck. That's the reason why I'm fucking pissed off. That's the reason why I'm fucking annoyed. He could just like unironically reach out and be like, hey, what's going on here? Like, what?
Why doesn't he let me lie to him in private? I don't get it. What's the problem? He could have reached out to me anytime he wanted and just said, hey. And I would have lied to him and said, it's a vibration collar. What's the issue? You're being manipulated. You're being brainwashed by the alt-right. Don't let this happen to you, Charlie. We've been friends.
What was this about? This clip looks bad. You know what I mean? Hey, Hassan, I know we've been around one another before. We've actually been around one another, and a lot of the people that I know that I'm around all the time and do content with have not only been around you, but also been around Kaya. He could have just fucking hit up, not me, but any number.
Hey guys, have you ever inspected Kaya's collar to see if it is a vibration versus a shock collar? Have you inspected the device in which he uses to administer whatever shock or vibration to her? It's a fucking stupid point. Sorry, not trying to be too rude, but that's just a dumb point. Have you asked anybody else if they've done an analysis on my dog's collar?
Of different people to be like, hey, do you think there's any veracity? Do you think there's any veracity to these claims? Not just like, don't ask me directly. Do your due diligence. Why the fuck do you go to Reddit for talking points, dumbass? What kind of fucking moron are you? It's
well, I mean, it's so stupid too, because it's not like going to Reddit for talking points because you just watch the video. You might go to Reddit to find the video, but it's like, I think Charlie's also on Twitter more. So he's getting Twitter talking points, which I also think we're a little bit upset about Hassan's treatment of the dog, of Kaya.
It's fucking insane to me that like this is what goes for like doing commentary on the internet is just like, oh, these are the Reddit threads from some of the most like schizophrenic people you've ever actually encountered. This is all it takes for me. He said you hide the bad stuff from your friends? He said I hide.
Well, yeah, no shit. Like, that's just again, these like points are like, even if you're doing it subconsciously, somebody who beats their kids probably does certain things out in public that might give somebody the, you know, the idea like, oh, maybe that guy's doing something wrong to their kid. But they're not going to full on, like, well, some do. But you know what I mean? Like, there's usually a bit of a pullback, a bit of a restriction when there are other people that are, like, viewing what is happening. So, of course, you're going to, like, and it's just true, like, in anything. Like, you're going to talk differently around people. You're going to act differently around people. You're going to, like, when you're in private, when you, like, and the thing is, too, like, when you're on stream, you have an audience. But there is still this, like, sense of privacy in instances like that, things that aren't necessarily on screen happening, or the focus of what, you know, what is going on. And so it's just so, I don't know, Hassan really does make bad arguments, just a lot. I love how Hassan is shitting on people doing research on Reddit. Meanwhile, iDubbbz exclusively does research on Ethan Snark. Yeah. I mean, also, like, look, I have all these Reddit threads up just because, again, I like looking at the memes. We like looking at it because it's funny. But Hassan's is usually just filled with, like, with Twitter. Like, it's just filled, and they're usually a lot more than this. But it's because he's doing real research. You know what I mean? Like, is that like a better resource? He himself says that it's like a Nazi platform. I'm trying my damnedest not to get a head dent from my headphones.
Okay, I'm gonna DM him.
Yeah, DM him. Good shit. Good job talking about it before you DM'd him. Like you said he could have done before talking about you. Good job not even... Couldn't he have done the same thing, right? He could have been like, oh, let me reach out to him in private and talk to him, and then maybe he'll take down the video, and I'll just explain to him the whole situation and not make it a big issue on stream. Like, the same thing goes for you if you really want to try it out. Yes, bald. But here is Hassan saying Charlie has a fear of flying, so his opinion doesn't matter. Here's the true argument against Charlie.
And did you see Charlie's video on you? Seemed kind of bad
I
face.
just want to have double audio. That isn't me. That is quite literally this Reddit video has double audio for some reason.
I don't care. I have not. Charlie, Moist Critical is...
It doesn't even sound like there's double audio. It sounds like he's speaking into like a metal pan.
afraid of getting on a fucking plane. Okay? Once again, the only person that has like taken this up has never been around me and Kaya ever. Just been around me when I went down to Florida. And as a fence sitter, he read it as, "Oh, this is a good opportunity for attack." You know what I mean? That's what I said. I say, who gives a fuck what he says? He's scared of getting on an airplane? Yeah. Come on, bro. You can't say...
Yeah. Reading that unironically is hilarious. Yeah, for real. Yeah, bitch can't even get on an airplane. What a pussy. Like, what? That's crazy. And I think he does have a fear of flying, but from what I remember, isn't Charlie just like agoraphobic? Isn't he just like afraid of being out in public and being around people and stuff? Because I feel like that's also kind of, like, I don't know. Hassan is so willing to like diminish people based on like certain characteristics. And I don't know. It does just it comes off as so antithetical to certain things that he preaches. Yeah, abusers are great at hiding their abuse. Yeah, it's like, especially in this instance of like, he has the shock collar. He understands shocking looks worse than the vibration. So he probably does do the sound or does the vibration around his friend, like around people. And like, again, this is all an assumption. This is all me assuming. I have no idea. I'm a dumbass. But it would make sense to do that in public, like around other people that you know. And then in private, if she's doing something that you felt like was off, yeah, you're doing that. And again, that's not the right thing to do, but based on the information that we have, that seems like that is probably what's happening. His bestie Cutie hates flying too. I don't get it. These points are so stupid. It's dumb. Don't believe anything Cutie says then. There's no point.
It doesn't look like it though. Why are you trying to discredit Charlie? Wait, what? I'm not. I said it looks fucking horrible. I said it yesterday. I think it's really fucking annoying that I have to constantly readdress all the shit. If you think I abuse my dog, if you think that this pampered dog, literally the most pampered dog that I care about more than I care about fucking human beings for the most part, is in any way, shape, or form like experiencing signs of abuse or exhibiting signs of abuse, or I've abused this dog or I've zapped this dog, you're fucking delusional.
It's so funny because he doesn't understand that this is just abuser talk. Shout out Fupa Troopa for the 5R. I'm calling it now Collargate, South Park episode incoming. I'd hope so. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past them. They seem to be getting a little bit more topical. Hassan on South Park, they give him an even tinier head. Possible. Being afraid of flying is a normal thing to be. Humans weren't meant to be up in the air. So true.
Okay. And if you think over the 20,000 fucking hours of footage of Kaya being on camera, that you actually fucking figured out like this secret out of, and the 10-second clip that you saw is actually infinitely more indicative of like how I behave and how she's getting fucking blasted or whatever on a regular basis by some neo-Nazis who are speculating on the internet. What the fuck do you want me to say? What do you mean discredit Charlie? What do you mean?
I'm incriminating all of you for taking my Russian money. Oh no. Oh no, I'm taking money from Russia now. That's what the R stands for. I saw what it is on the back end. And thank you so much, Fupa Troopa. But I do just think that it's so like he's just missing the mark so hard, because this is literally like abuser talking points. To be like, if you think that I would abuse the person that I love, abuse someone that I love more than anything, that's literally how abusers talk. I love them more than anything. I would never do anything to hurt them. I care about them. All I'm trying to do is protect them. All I'm trying to do is teach them. Make sure that they learn. Make sure that they understand. It's like, bro, how are you this dense? Bro thinks he's giving himself a cloud of innocence. Why is your dog forced in the corner of your room for over 6 hours a day, buddy? I mean, honestly, like, if you want her to be... Like that's the thing, right? I don't necessarily have a problem with the place training or the commands or even having a collar in certain instances, but like, you're at home, she was already in place for hours. Like, he should have kind of a setup in which he can see what she's doing to make sure she isn't just wandering. You know what I mean? Kind of have it set up in a way where she can go and get water or whatever and come back. But I don't know. It's also the fact that he isn't using it in a way that's productive in her training. He yelled at her. She started getting back into place. And then as she was going back into place, he administered discipline as she was doing the correct action. Which I think is more so the whole, like, issue, is that he's not properly administering any type of, like, regardless even of it being a shock. Because yes, the shock aspect makes it much worse, but it's just adding a magnitude on top of like it's adding magnitudes to the actual to the claim itself, which is that he's poorly training his pupper. Do we think Diddy also used this defense for the Cassie video? Like, you only saw a short clip, you can't possibly know if the relationship is abusive. No, exactly. It is just like that. It's that dense, and like the cognitive dissonance you must have to think something like that is so weird. The most cruel acts are usually self-justified by perceived good intentions. Exactly, and that's the thing. Is like, you understand, and that's the other part, is they're good intentions, but you also understand what is and isn't considered proper. Because he understands the shock, that's out of line. But he doesn't care because he still thinks that he's doing the right thing and is just going to lie about it to other people that might not get it or whatever. Because the lie is already like developed from it. Oh, what are you talking about? That's so stupid. To, well, she does have a collar, but it just vibrates. And then it keeps changing in like different ways to just the different points that people make against it is whatever like angle the opposing, like, you know, Hassan's fan base tries to use against. There's so many avenues now, and none of them are even like cohesive to an actual like truth. It's either Hassan used a shock collar or 10 other possible options that you can pick and choose from depending on what argument someone makes. My cavapoo is usually on or near me. Place training is good, especially for puppies. It's important, but that often for that long and instant punishment for slight movement, yeah, no. And exactly, it's like especially too. Her bed seems too small to me personally. Personally, maybe it's the angle. She seems like a big dog, and she had a bigger bed prior. But it feels like Hassan cared more about the space and maybe even the placement of her. So I don't know. But here was Harley Morenstein, the Harley of Harley doing blackface as Shaq. Um, he had this to say: I had dogs my whole life. Never did any of them ever yelp out of pain and not have me stop what I was doing and inspect what was wrong. We can debate the collar all day, but it is 100% low key psycho shit to see your dog cry out in pain and you actively ignore it. And I was pointing this out kind of like when we first saw the video, because he calls her a baby and is like, whoa, she's being a baby right now. Oh. Like, dude, she whimpered. Be like, oh, what's wrong? Even if she is being a baby, like, she's your baby. Well, like, what's the issue, dude? She's your baby, right? Yeah, way too small to be there for so long. Yeah, we learned place for our puppy, but it was for instances of when they need to get out of the kitchen for safety or for them to have a more comfy spot they love. Not as punishment. Yeah, because that's the thing. Like I'm saying, I can understand it if she gets up, walks over, lays down next to him, like with her head like on his computer chair leg or something. You know what I mean? Like on the computer chair wheels or something. She has her head against that. He goes, "Don't lay there." Place tells her to go back. But it's when she's instantly getting up. That's so. He just seems like a bad dog owner in a way, and I think that's more so proven in him yanking on his dog's tail. But again, that's just me. I don't think you should be yanking on dogs' tails. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. My dog is like half the size of Kaya. His bed is 3 times hers, and I have 0.0000000000001% as much money as him. No, it's literally just buy her a big bean bag or something. Come on. But then people are deciding to lie and shift from Harley. Um, Harley said this dog collar thing didn't really prove much with Hassan. I've seen him celebrate death on his stream, so abusing his dog seems like something he could do. What it did do, though, is demonstrate how far his audience will lie, shift, and obfuscate the truth. Hundreds of hours of footage of Hassan loving doting on Kaya is actually evidence that a 10-second clip of her yelping for an unknown reason is probably not animal abuse, and you're actually the imbecile if you don't understand that. And it's funny because more and more clips of him doing fucked up shit to dogs on stream has been coming out, like him yanking on his dog's tail, and then more clips of him seemingly using the collar, whether it's the shock or the vibration setting, who knows. Because to me, I could even believe Hassan is still poorly using this this educator. He's poorly using this educator, and maybe he even mistakenly pressed the shock instead of the vibration. He wasn't thinking about it and accidentally pressed the wrong one. Maybe that's believable, but again, it's still just like he is a bad dog owner. He keeps using it for instances when it seems unnecessary, of like her stretching her legs and getting up after hours of laying down in the same position, which is also probably not the best for her joints. Lethargy is not good for animals. My dogs are currently splattered on the couch. My cat uses our we have a 2-person beanbag. My tiny cat uses it as his bed. Because we don't have, I know once we have a dog, because we want a bunch of pets, but once we have more pets, we know that he is going to be pissed because they're all probably going to congregate on there. But sorry, they kept going. Hassan fans are a special kind of imbecile. It's remarkable. I don't know, guys. It's pretty abusive of him to throw a birthday party for her with all her little pup friends. it is kind of just sickening to me, and I don't want to keep. I'm not gonna like hinge on this too long because I don't want to keep bringing it up. But it does just feel like abuser talk. Like all of this is just abuser talk. He threw her a birthday. He gives her presents. He does this. I just find it gross because it's like those things don't negate from other instances that are abuse. Whether or not those instances are abuse are what's in question. Not whether or not there are other times when he's sweet on her and he's nice to her and he does these nice little things. Again, abusers do that. That's like the cycle of abuse. That is quite literally what the cycle of abuse is. But then they decided to go on they love to just obfuscate, distract. Bro, aren't you pals with H3? They lie, shift, and obfuscate truth every fucking day. Be serious. If you're gonna give a take like this, at least back it up with some sort of track record that aligns with it. LMFAO. That's so funny because you are quite literally doing the thing that you're speaking out against in this same, like, in this tweet. And it is funny because he is giving an instance. He's saying this doesn't prove much to me because he celebrates death. He will lie, his audience will lie, shift, and obfuscate truth, and he did this in a response, which is an example. And this person replies saying, like, give an example. H3 does this stuff all the time. Give me more examples. And then Harley responds, got any receipts of them intentionally lying and then not making a retraction apology of that wrong or lie. And then that would take weeks, if not months, to accumulate everything. He just said, give anything, not everything, give anything, any receipts. It would take weeks, if not months, to accumulate everything, but I can tell you're in denial, so anything you say at this point is disingenuous. LMAO. These people really do get off on their own farts. It's crazy. It's crazy. They don't even sniff their own farts anymore. They're getting off on it. It's insane. You are 1000% the exact type of person I was talking about in my tweet, LOL. You literally just shifted, obfuscated, and then lied to me. That's crazy. If pointing out your hypocrisy is that to you, then sure, LMFAO, what the hell do I care? And that's quite literally the point. You don't care. None of you care. None of you care about anything. All you care about is trying to make Hassan to be the good guy. He's the good guy. Defend, 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 defend. If you can't see it in yourself, then like I said, everything you say is disingenuous. Nice. Thanks, bro. Their receipts are, trust me, bro. They've had so much time to come up with any compelling examples, and yet nothing. No, exactly. It's just talking. It's literally like they've heard talking points from someone that's literally just heard talking points. None of it is actually like factually grounded. I thought this was funny. Average sneaker logic. I think they meant snarker, but average sneaker logic. If a shock collar was so bad, it would be banned and outlawed. And if Hassan was really an animal abuser, he wouldn't have his dog at the moment. Okay, they created a kind of, okay, so that's your viewpoint. Well, they are banned in some countries, someone replied. Mayo replied. And Omaha Duck had to come back with, some countries also allow you to marry kids. Some countries allow you to rape women. What's your point? Bro, what's your point? Ela was in the ASL though. I know you mean that like American Sign Language. That's like the thing but I like ASL to mean age, sex, location. Ela was in the ASL when you use like the dashes. Y'all ever get hit with that on Omegle when you were like 14? And be like, whoa. Whoa, buddy. Skip. Aren't they illegal in California? I don't know, actually. They're banned in the UK. Shot collar. I mean, he bought it, so I'd imagine not. Shot collar laws, California. There's no statewide law in California that bans the use or sale of shock collars, though several cities have local ordinances again. That makes sense. The cursed ASL, so true. "24 male Murica." But the snarkers are just beyond dumb. They are so unbelievably stupid over on the snark. Evidence Ethan uses AI to write his Instagram rants, and they circled the also with the M dash, and it's just like these people just didn't go to school. They just don't know anything. They don't know. He used the M dash because it's like a separation in the thought. Also, and then it starts a new sentence. It would be dumb to put like also period or also exclamation point. That's how children type. This man has a degree in creative writing. He doesn't need to use AI. You know what's so sad? I actually had a shock collar. I have a shock collar I wanted to use on stream because I've done it before. I could show a video of me doing it with friends in the past, doing shock collar. What was it? Shock collar operation. We showed it on stream once before, but I forgot. I don't know where the charger is. It has like a special charging cord that I lost, and I don't know where it is. I love using M dashes and semicolons, but I'm a writer. No, yeah, it's the best way to use English. You have to make sure that you're separating your I can't think of the different parts of sentences now. I'm not a professional writer. I am not a graduate of any kind. I only graduated high school. But I'd like to consider myself at least somewhat eloquent. See that? See that right there? The use of big words. Yeah, why would he use AI for this rant? I mean, I think these people are just actually too dumb to think of anything, so they just kind of throw the biggest claims out there. It doesn't make any sense to me to use this, like, at all. Medi, you do realize that half of Twitter is Holocaust denial. We can acknowledge the Gaza genocide without diminishing others. It's disgusting. Why do it? Who gains? I like Medi, but this take is repugnant and unacceptable. Also, how the hell are you going to make jokes? How are you going to make jokes an important metric of the severity of a genocide? Generally, mass murder is thought to be worse than jokes. I mean, honestly, this doesn't even read like AI at all. Yeah, he wouldn't hide it. I just can't imagine buying one without having a vet okay it or look at your dog's cardiovascular system. Literally one shock too long, big, and it's over. I thought, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That might be true, but I don't. It probably also depends on the dog size. Like obviously, some dogs weigh 180 pounds. Some dogs weigh 20 pounds, and those dogs probably shouldn't be administered the same level of shock. But like I'm saying, I don't. It isn't even necessarily that the shock itself is bad because there are like super weak ones that shock. Like when I was doing it with my friends, we did it. It makes you spasm, but it is quite literally. I think people are thinking of it like touching an outlet, but what it does is it causes a spasm in your muscles. That's why she lifted her arm up. Like, and obviously the setting he has it on is probably too high, or else she wouldn't have yelped. But what that's all it's doing is it's causing a muscle contraction, and it's to make them basically reset. It causes like a reset in their system. Bro, I hate how everyone is flagged M dash as immediately AI. Us fanfic writers exist, bro. We can have typing styles. AI learned from us. Of course it's going to copy that. That's a good point, actually, that it is just taking from, like, they just went on fucking Wattpad, threw all that into ChatGPT. This is quite personal. This is just another Hassan statement, which is just missing. It's dripping in irony, and he just can't seem to feel it.
I'm doing it in the best possible way.
Why are all of these so quiet? Reddit, what is wrong with you?
And not only that, but you're also fucking inventing an alternative reality where I'm like fucking electrocuting my dog or some shit. Psychos. This is quite personal. It's like telling a parent is abusive towards his kids. No wonder you'd be pissed. I know.
I guess if you guys didn't hear it, I'll read it because I guess that works too. This is quite personal. It's like telling a parent they're abusive towards his kids. No wonder you'd be pissed. Him reading a chatter. And then he said, I know. Again, and then they don't seem to care about the CPS call on Ethan. I'm just low-key paranoid about that stuff because I have heart issues and I'm scared of getting shocked, bro. No, I get you. I have high blood pressure and I didn't have any problems. I don't know. That's not as a big an issue as like a heart arrhythmia or is that it? Where it's like you have the improper heartbeat. But my friend actually has that, and he also did it, and he was fine. Interesting. I'm using that same volume boost extension. Dude, sometimes it's shit. I think it's because I have too many windows open, and I think it doesn't know which window to detect that I'm trying to raise. Because that did not work at all. Hassan, place. I thought this was pretty funny. His chat isn't going to do it because they love slobbing on him too much. But, like, it would just be funny. Like, not even saying, oh, people need to go into his chat and brigade his chat. Don't do that. That's wrong. I don't think people should do that. But it's funny to think when he's out of his place, for people, like, out of, like, in the chair, just chair reacting, for people to just go, Hassan, place. Hassan, place. I might start doing that when I'm reacting to stuff if he walks off. Yeah, you can't full screen your YouTube screen when you're using it. And yeah, no, it full screens and just does it like to the browser. It's really weird. But again, I don't think anybody should go watch Hassan. That's the point I'm trying to make. Don't go watch Hassan. It's just so stupid because it sounds ironic, but I'm being genuine. God damn it.
Stupid sexy Hassan, why won't he fuck me?
Damn.
Why do people keep saying Superman Hassan superhero W?
You gay? Why are you gay?
Frogan breaks her silence to defend the dog abuser. Bye-bye, favorable settlement terms. And I will say, Ethan saying this type of stuff, I feel like he's doing it in jest, but it definitely reads bad to those who already have a poor view of him. Because he said, Frogan is desperate to settle, and rightfully so. I've even been feeling more open to negotiating with her because she's been much more respectful, thoughtful throughout the process. That being said, I really don't think it's a cute look or a good idea to maliciously accuse someone of killing their dog. And I'll leave it at that. Because it shouldn't be a personal matter. And I understand that those things don't necessarily matter in the context of the case itself, the civil case. But it definitely is going to play into the hands of snarkers who will just be quick to say, see, all he cares about, he's using it as leverage to get people to stop speaking bad about him. Which I don't think is like what he's trying to do, but that's definitely how this can come across. But here's what she actually said.
Or actually, no, I'll tell you, I'll text you later. The shit I need to talk about certain people.
I already know who it is. I already know who it is, and I've already seen it.
And you already probably know what I'm going to say.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I literally took a nap to like zone in because I was like, I literally could expose this person right fucking now. But I'm not going to. I'm
Do
gonna go
it.
to bed.
Tell them.
No, don't
Say it.
I would. I just hate shitty people. But yeah, no, the collargate is crazy.
It's so stupid.
What are your thoughts on shock collars?
I don't agree with them.
I don't
But
agree with
I
them
understand why
either.
I know why they exist. I would rather a shock collar than a prong collar. But they also
Well, it's a good thing Hassan uses both then.
make them that don't shock. They just vibrate.
It made me think.
Again, it's like, I feel like a lot of people don't understand like what the actual issue is because they're just going like, well, who cares? There's vibration ones. He's probably just using a vibrate collar. She whimpered. There was no reason for him to utilize that method of training in that instance. It genuinely seems as though he was frustrated at something else. She got out of place. It made him more upset, and so he administered the shock or vibration to her. And that is poor dog ownership, poor dog training. Casey said disgusting shit about Olive. I don't blame Ethan at all. That's true too. I mean, that's the thing is I don't necessarily think that that's humans are we're social beings, so it's not like I'm gonna hold it against him for feeling a type of way about those things. But it's just when you do say this out in the open, it definitely is going to lend to critics. Yeah, who would want to use a shock collar over a prong collar? Yeah, it's just like it just doesn't make any sense. Because yeah, it's like a pronged collar is better purely because it is at the dog's own like volition that they feel any type of restriction. You, when you have a shock collar, are the arbiter of what is right and wrong in that instance. And it's hard to say if we are the best, like, judges of that all the time. We aren't always the best judge of character, even in ourselves. So how could we judge a dog's character, the most pure beings? I know exactly what you're going to say, then proceeds to share the guy who killed his dog against Ethan and Frogan doesn't shut the comment down, so clearly conveying she shares the view. Gross. Yeah. It's just weird because it's like, if you are going to be so critical of something so like minuscule as Ethan giving his dogs cheese, then why be so like dismissive of it possibly being a shock collar? And why just be, oh yeah, well maybe it's okay. Maybe it's okay. So weird. Yeah, no, the pronged collar is basically sitting on the dog's neck, and then if they lunge, if they pull, they feel it poke into their neck. And you can do that to yourself. It doesn't feel good, even if it's not sharp. Push into your neck like that. It doesn't feel great. And so the dog does that, and then realizes, ooh, that doesn't feel good. And so it doesn't pull. And so the dog learns not to pull on the leash. And honestly, I don't blame him doing that, like anybody doing that, especially when they have bigger dogs. If you have a smaller dog, get a little stronger maybe. Honestly, get a harness possibly and just get a little bit stronger. But it is necessary depending on the type of like energy that certain dogs have. But again, that's why a shock collar is worse, because the dog is applying that pressure and then realizing, oh, I shouldn't pull. I should chill out. We're doing a walk. Whereas a shock collar is somebody having to go, nope, that's too much, or too little, or too far, or too short. You didn't jump too high, or you jumped too high. It's just so dumb.
Think of Jenna Marbles' pet dog. People are so annoying with drama.
I just know certain people actually killed their dog and they have like opinions about it. And I'm just like
here's the thing. I feel like shock collars aren't the worst thing ever, but I do feel like they almost need to be administered by like trained professionals. And usually for aggressive dogs that maybe attack or have issues with like that need to be trained like what's it called? Like perimeter training. You know what I mean? Like where they keep like you don't want a dog leaving the perimeter, so you have like the thing where after they go out a certain distance, it plays a high pitched noise, or maybe it has the vibration or whatever. Certain things like that aren't necessarily bad, but again, I do think that the worst part is just having it be at the control of a human who may or may not be just frustrated in an instant.
You need to like relax.
I'm just like, I just think.
One time, a person I had just met went and bought a prong collar for my dog and insisted big dogs had to be trained. It's sitting in a bin covered in cat piss. That's how I feel about that. No, see, and that's the thing. I'm not saying that every dog needs it. That's kind of my whole point, is that I feel like it's probably best that if your dog needs training, you take it to a trainer, and then the trainer is going to tell you what's the best thing to do for it. Yeah, that's the only way I could see them being ethical, standards and protocols for use. Yeah. Hope your tailbone is doing better, Captain. Thank you. It is doing a lot better today. I know as soon as I stand up here, let's try. Ooh, okay. It's not as bad today. It's been a few days. I think I heard it on Thursday. I think. And ooh, not a good feeling. But I'm hoping I can get back on my runs. I've been going for walks instead. I've just been turning my mile runs into 2-mile walks. But it is what it is. But let's continue. Last two things. Pokimane and Lily Chu have canceled a scheduled episode of their podcast where Hassan would have been the guest. I didn't look into this too much, so let's just see what this says. Small update. Hey, taste buds. This is a tough one to write, but we wanted to give you all a heads up that we're unfortunately going to be missing our first scheduled Saturday video tomorrow. We've been watching the recent drama unfold concerning our guest, and it's been getting intense. We had a serious talk as a crew, and we all agreed that it did not feel right uploading tomorrow's episode at this moment in time. Our community is our favorite thing, and the reason we do this is to create a space that is comfy as always and a true escape. We do not want to impact a cozy atmosphere we've all built together. Thanks for always supporting our vision for the fun. Positive place to hang out. See you all next week. Sweet and sour stuff. I just, honestly, this is kind of a dismissive post, and maybe it's because they want to stay in good graces with Hassan or something, so they're just like, hey, Hassan, we just don't want we don't want to get brigaded in our comment section. You understand, right? And then Hassan's like, yeah, I understand. But it doesn't even necessarily seem like they care. All they care about is the fact that they probably would get comments being like, oh, you're going to have this guy on your pod, you're going to have this guy on the podcast. And it was probably recorded before the drama had come out. This drama had happened, had started. But I do find it a bit kind of hand wavy. No environment with Hassan I would consider cozy. But it also just sounds like they're going to just release it later. Like they're like, we're going to wait for this stuff to kind of blow over. Yeah, see, it did not feel right uploading tomorrow's episode at this moment in time. Really disappointing response, yeah. While they do say at this moment in time, I don't think this episode will ever see the light of day on YouTube, it's sad that all of the other toxic shit Hassan has engaged in somehow didn't disqualify him from being promoted on a comfy podcast, and it's only now Hassan is considered too corrosive to be associated with. Although Lily has her dog Timmy, and of course Lily and Pokey still have friends in OTV who own dogs, so there is every admittedly slim chance that this kind of animal abuse issue could mean quite a fair bit to them. Well, I mean, isn't it also, I mean, I don't know about OT, I thought it was OTK, OTV, are they all just a bunch of, what are these different groups? I don't know what any of these stand for. It will be interesting to see who else dissociates with Hassan in the future. While I have extreme doubts it will happen, if Cutie Cinderella, Ludwig, Maya were to openly dissociate themselves with Hassan, then holy shit, I doubt it. I really doubt it. It doesn't sound like anything's really going to come of this in the long term. It's given him a bit of backlash, but I mean, The dude has literally shown terrorist propaganda on his fucking on his broadcasts. He's done like vile shit. And it really is just like, I don't know, it's just so weird. It's so weird. The way he talks, the way he acts. Ew. I was disappointed in the response after this one. Oh, I didn't know there was a second response. A recent response from Pokey. What's it on? I can look at it real quick. Pokemon. Here, we'll let this play while I'm looking for it. Idub's referring to himself in third person as the White Hassan is the cringiest thing I've ever seen. It'll never not be cringy, but honestly, it's something that Hassan would do.
Why do people keep saying Superman Hassan superhero W?
Stupid sexy Hassan. Why do all the girls like him?
So, trying to get points would be something Hassan would do. Yeah, he flashed a gun at a viewer like bro could do anything on Twitch. No, literally, like I don't see how him using a shot collar is worse than that. Like using the shot collar isn't good. We've established. I think the whole instance shows that he is bad at training his dog and is a poor dog owner. But I wouldn't necessarily say being a bad dog owner is as bad as being like, what the fuck are you gonna do, bro? What are you gonna do? Saying some shit like that is crazy. Yeah, I'm behind on this one. I didn't see. I don't follow. God damn you, iDubbbz. You infernal creature. Do. Okay, interesting development. Here we go. What's up, Simtax Grenade? Is that what you're calling Sim, Internet Tough Guy? I was so confused by that for a second. Or is there someone else in here called Simtax Grenade? Stop trying to make White Hassan happen. It's not gonna happen. No, just let it work its way in. White Hassan. Interesting development on Sweet and Sour app featuring Hassan, Pokey, and Lily's podcast. So they Dexerto posted that and then said, Pokemon and Lily Chu announced that they have canceled their scheduled podcast episode with Hassan. The episode, and then Pokemon said, or isn't her name just Pokemon? Haven't we established that? Everyone calls her Pokemon because her name's Emon, right? So her name's Pokemon. Just pitch up the audio, so true. AI can remove it, yeah. But Pokemon said, the episode was supposed to air as usual, but staff refused to upload it out of fear it had caused drama, and also posted this statement without my approval. Sorry, guys. We'll talk about everything on this week's episode and go on a hiatus afterwards to restructure. What's staff? Do they have like a big podcast? Like I understand, like the H3 podcast has a huge staff, but like a lot of these podcasts seem so tiny. It's literally just them on.
You're totally the
Is it just them on like Discord? Just talking to each other on Discord? I'm so confused. Sorry, guys. We'll talk about everything on this week's episode and go on a hiatus afterwards to restructure. Okay, we'll see how that restructuring looks. I do want to say before we look at the content cop, we all saw, I hope you all saw, I didn't like it on this account, Reddit stories with Sal Volcano. Didn't know that's how you say his name. Sal Volcano. Great guy, came on. He's doing it seems like he's doing a press run right now, trying to get on different podcasts talking about his new HBO show. Is that what it was? HBO talk show, something like that. I also keep thinking Ian's tooth fell out whenever I see his gold tooth. It doesn't look good. But Sal Volcano came on the H3 podcast, but then he also went on. I wanted to give this a shout out too. He went on Matan Evan, in which he had a heated debate with a black Israelite and a rabbi. It was a great episode. It was one of the longest. I think it might have been literally the longest Matan Evan podcast in the history of the Matan Evan podcast. They're usually like 30, 40 minutes. This one was nearly 2 hours while Sal sat there in the longest Impractical Jokers bit ever. Someone said that. Sal was trapped in the longest Impractical joke of his life.
That's live date.
Literally almost 2 hours of two rabbis arguing with a black Israelite.
Amazon package if you don't get it at your door.
One of the first Jewish slave masters was in North Carolina. Y'all was there too. That's why, you know what tripped me out? When white people want to be separate from Jewish people, y'all the same white man. The same. Y'all just the creme de la creme of that white man.
The most ridiculous. First of all, I'm not saying you are racist, but man, the way you talk is crazy.
Look up to us. Like I appreciate.
No, I'm not looking up to y'all at all.
No,
Loki, the black Israelite, and this dude, this rabbi, they actually kind of hit it off. By the end of it, they're laughing at each other's jokes. They're having a good time. This dude was not feeling it at all. This rabbi was really upset.
Know what I was walking into.
Right. His was 3 hours. So, and I don't have a personal issue with nobody.
Wait, were you one of the Dan audience members? Only just tuning in? Maybe that's the costume. What I am is I'm a Dan lookalike. Post this one to Reddit. Post this one to Reddit. New guy working in my office looks just like Dan. Oops. Here we're good.
Just discussions. Like, we have to be men when you have conversations. Sometimes the truth hurt. The biggest argument is when he said that God can't give him the understanding of the Torah. He needs another book
I
to
forgot I was still
understand
like
that.
this.
That is diabolical because God gave the children.
I'm sad you lost the cool hair. It'll grow back. It honestly grows back pretty quick. I'm gonna have to keep shaving it every single day until the 30th, though. Gotta keep myself bald. Gotta do my costumes. Tomorrow we can do Hutch. Damn it, where are my Hutch glasses? I keep doing this. They're not even that good. Oh yeah, these ones are too big. Wait, I thought I had another pair. No, these were the ones I was going to use for the... I need to put the wig back on and then use these ones for the... I keep forgetting the character. Giblogian. That's why I had these glasses. These ones are more Giblogian coated. They're a little too thick. They're a little too thick for a Hutch. The Hutch has the thinner glasses. You look like Walter White. I need the connection. Did you ever spike the hawk or no? I did it for Alex's live stream. You got to go check it out. We did it for the he did the charity live stream raising money for the children of Palestine. And I did it for that. I didn't do it on my live stream because it was difficult. I did do horns on Saturday's stream though. That's what the thumbnail was for. I could do Howie Mandel too. Perfect. I could be Tom. I could be Tom Ward. Howie Mandel. I'm Dan Staban today. See, I don't have the beard, so I can't be full Dan. This is Dan Staban. What else? Mr. Clean, Pitbull, Mr. Worldwide. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of them there. Do you think AB noticed your hair? I think someone pointed it out. I think someone said he did it for for reaching 1,000 subscribers, and he was like, "Oh yeah," and then didn't say anything else. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he was like, "Oh yeah." He was probably like, "Shit looks crazy." But it looked better that day at least because it was spiked. I'd have to shave my facial hair for Tom Ward and for Mr. Clean, right? I don't know. I'd look really weird fully bald, though. That's the one issue. I don't know. Got to think about it because I am supposed to be number one for Halloween, but I can be grown-up number one who looks like a homeless guy. Who remembers this? Anybody remember this? From Codename Kids Next Door? Oh, you know what I could do? I could do one of those time lapses of like taking a picture every day as my hair grows out. You know what I mean? Where their heads are like shaking the whole time because they can't stand still. I am Joseph Rogan, so true. I just need long nipples. Yeah, Alex, did your eyebrows ever grow back? That's a great question. Well, let's start this now. This is Content Cop Empaths featuring Dark Viper AU from The Great Cameron F305. Let's get it started.
What we do here is go back.
Before I dive headfirst into a pool of concrete, let me give you some backstory. As your new local content cop, I scour the internet daily hoping to make it a better place. I can't just focus on our most wanted list, otherwise everyday content criminals would get away scot-free. And today, that was my plan. Believe it or not, there was no plan for another items mentioned on this channel until my Meet the Jamhas deep dive video.
He's gimped, he's raped, he's gay.
And after today, no matter what happens, I'm going to stand by that. However, today, I had to make the exception. You see, today's video was only supposed to be about our little Australian empath known as Dark Viper AU.
Why can you not stop lying? Please stop lying!
But thanks to my busy college schedule, my move in August, and, the events of September 2025, a lot has changed. I'm putting this here in the beginning to let everyone know that this is not going to be the iDubbbz drama channel, and my last video goes further into that. But with all that out of the way, on to the video. Empathy.
This guy got owned by Aiden Projects. Bro, this guy is pathetic. I looked up Aiden Projects. He only has 3 videos, and they're all from 4 to 7 years ago. Am I looking at the wrong channel? From what I've seen, I think, or maybe Aiden Underground? Is that it? wannabe content cop gets exposed. Is that where he was like? I'm pretty sure most of this stuff has been covered in his. Did he cover it in his Hassan content cop? He's talked about most of this stuff, if I'm not mistaken. And then he said he's gonna stop. He's gonna try and stop using the R word. What a guy. He says he's trying to stop using the R slur, but he sneaks in an F slur at the end. Let me know right before he says it, and I'll cut.
The
Baby
ability
steps, I guess. He goes by Aiden Underground now. Baby steps, I guess. The thing is like, you can't expect somebody to change in a day. But it's just like, you can be funnier than that. You can try a little bit harder. Or maybe you can't. I don't know you that well.
to understand and share the feelings of another, an ability most are born with. Others unlock it at age 30.
He kept calling things gay in a derogatory way, but pretty sure he did use the R word in this video, Alex. The last video he did was pretty good. You know, we thought we were on the up and up. But you know what? Maybe this will be a critique on Cameron F305. Those allegations were true.
Me too. And others never gain it. Empathy. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? White girls on Twitter go nuts for this shit. Yo, what up, Black Panther? Welcome back to another episode of Content Cop. Today's episode will focus on two empaths, and for that reason, I feel it's important to lay out the term empathy. You know, what it means, how it's been misused, and why...
I don't get why the R slur was so common to begin with, because it's the easiest way. It's the same reason that people say stupid or idiot, or like these were old IQ terms and were used for people with diminished capacities and were thus used then to diminish others, as to say they are similar to those with, like, you know, lesser faculties. And in that also to say that being like that is wrong. And then we slowly developed new terms over time until we got the R word as a medical term. Then that became passé because of its usage colloquially and how that colloquialism spread broad. And now people like Hassan use neurodivergent instead because it is the new, like, medical grade term that you can use to diminish people's mental faculties. Lots of people don't understand how normal it was 10 to 15 years ago. Yeah, well, I mean, I think that in general, we're trying to become more bigger empaths. And maybe in this video, Cameron shows that he has no empathy for anybody. Like I've said it before, I'll say it again. I cried at SpongeBob at 3 or 4 years old. That's when I learned about empathy. I cried at Gary Come Home, and I said, damn, Gary, that's so sad. Then years later, I cried at Fry's dog and the one about Fry's brother from Futurama. Those were so sad, those episodes. They get me to this day.
It's a buzzword for this genre of people. Empathy can be summarized as putting yourself in another person's shoes to understand and feel their emotions. You know, gay shit. Sometimes a total lack of empathy can be symptoms of conditions like autism, NPD, BPD, or sociopathy. Other times it stems from environmental factors. Everyone type 1 in the chat if you're a sociopath. Oftentimes the term is confused with another basic fucking human emotion, sympathy, which is feeling bad or feeling pity for someone else. The two are similar in nature, but very different in practice. Today's episode of Content.
Well, and the thing is certain people have arguments against empathy. Like, an argument against empathy is that empathy comes from like a selfish, comes from selfish wants, because empathetic thought is to feel what someone else is feeling, to, you know, to put yourself in their shoes in a sense, and you are feeling something and want yourself to feel better, and you're only going to feel better by helping them through their issue. And so you are in turn selfishly caring about your own wants and desires as opposed to a sympathetic thought, which is where you can just understand purely why their issue is bad and then able to help them from there. But again, it's about the utilization and how you actually move in your daily life rather than just if you feel empathy or sympathy. They're usually pretty normal human emotions, and if you don't feel them, you should probably go to therapy. But I'm just saying, let me see, does this need to go up? I don't know what happened with the mic. Oop, did the internet cut out? What's going on? No, we're okay. I think we're good.
Content Cop Reload is sponsored by my socials and my lovely patrons and members. For behind-the-scenes content and live streams, be sure to check out my second channel, Chaotic Cameron. Join the Discord server and interact with the community. And don't forget to follow that Twitter and Instagram. Or you could support me like these lovely people by becoming a patron or channel member. And of course, don't forget to smash that motherfucking like button and subscribe, bitch. Now that we have our definitions laid out, let's get into how the term empathy has been misused and causes eye rolls for many, other than its conflation with the term sympathy and other.
I went to Disney in Florida like a decade ago and was in a wheelchair. It was quite a culture shock to hear people casually call me a cripple. Apparently that's just their way of saying handicapped, disabled. Yeah, some people say that. I mean, I do think it's also interesting, like, sorry, don't mean to throw off the European viewers. I don't even know if I should say it then. I guess if I say the full term, it isn't as bad. The term spastic, I know, is considered, like, I think that one would just be thrown around in America loosely if more people knew the word. Because I have heard people say it before, but it has, like, lost more oomph in recent years. But I know, like, saying the shortened version of that, I know is seen as a slur in other cultures and countries. Go on, say it. Bracing myself. I know it isn't that bad. I was kind of memeing on it a little bit. Yeah, that's also a no-no. I know it's not. I know it's bad, but I also know that some people also still use it. But I think it comes from that same principle, though, of it was like a medical term that was then kind of co-opted for people to diminish others. That was big in Australia, yeah.
Other broad applications, the destruction of the term is pretty easy to pinpoint in my honest opinion. In fact, it directly ties to the uprising of virtue signaling that we covered in my last Content Cop.
There are different kinds of empathy. Cognitive empathy is when you intellectually know how someone is feeling. Emotional empathy is when you feel what someone is feeling. Compassionate empathy is both. Wouldn't intellectual empathy just be sympathy? Or cognitive empathy? Cognitive empathy. I've just never heard that before. That's interesting. Cognitive empathy is the ability to intellectually understand another person's perspective, thoughts, without necessarily feeling those emotions yourself. It involves perspective taking, recognition, nonverbal cues. Okay, I guess that makes sense then in what I was saying, because if you have emotional empathy without cognitive empathy, then that's how you end up like doing things, acting selfishly, because all you care about is your own emotional state. Like I said, that does make sense. I've just never heard that before. I have both because I'm more emotionally in tune with myself. I'm in tune with my emotions. Thank you very much.
Most of the time when the term empathy gets brought up, it gets used in superficial corporate initiatives. It's often used as a catch-all term to show how you're the bestest person. It's weaponized in debate or discourse, or it's used by armchair psychologists to diagnose people, etc. In these cases, when many people feel overexposed to the term, they'll become cynical. My audience likely feels this cynicism every time they hear iDubbbz talk about his empathy. So why do our subjects today love to use this term? Well, it's their buzzword for morality, which in in turn feeds on the vulnerable. It's their way of telling you that I'm a decent person. I feel everyone's pain. However, anyone with a brain can obviously tell you that that's just not the case. Like, nobody, with the exception of Jesus, is going to understand the life experience of everyone. In human nature, it's just harder to feel empathy for situations or people that you can't relate to. That's where sympathy should come in. Cameron, do you really think I'm a fucking idiot? Why?
I mean, that was kind of a bad point.
Human nature, it's just harder to feel empathy for situations or people that you can't relate to. That's
just, I mean, that's kind of the point of empathy, right? Is that it's this natural feeling of relation to others. Yeah, there are people that have experiences that I could never and have never experienced. But like I said, when I was a child and had never owned a dog, known what it was like to lose a dog, had never even really been around dogs or cats. And when SpongeBob lost his cat, I felt it for him. I understood the idea of conceptually losing something and not having it anymore, even at the age of 3 years old or 4 years old or whatever. So I don't know. You don't need to relate to people. It might be more difficult, I guess. That's the point he's trying to make? Is that it's more difficult? But I don't see why that necessarily matters in the context he's trying to put it.
where sympathy should come in. Cameron, do you really think I'm a fucking idiot? Why are you telling me that? Well, that's a great question, and it'll all make sense. Remember to keep it in mind as we meet our empaths, because believe it or not, they're giant hypocrites and very whiny babies.
Looking at the light. It's fucking distracting. Oh, good.
Now, our first empath is a familiar face of the channel. You know him, the 40-year-old empath, iDubbbz. Now, if you've already seen my content cup on iDubbbz, you could skip ahead 10 seconds. Are they gone? Good. You haven't watched my magnum opus? I swear. Take this citation and watch, or you're gonna pay a hefty fine. Not cool, dude. Unlike my predecessor, I try to be fair and give as much context as possible. But since you probably know the iDubbbz empathy lore, I won't spend too much time on it. However, for the sake of context, we can briefly go over his publicly stated principles on empathy. That way, we have it in mind for when we see that empathy in action. So, in 2023, after a miasma of controversy related to creator class,
empathy can definitely be a curse if you are in a family of terrible people. And that's the thing, is that's why you need to have both, because you do need empathy with sympathy, because empathy helps you, again, even if not feeling it yourself, it helps you understand more so the feelings that someone has. And then sympathy, what was the difference then? Sympathy would then be the understanding of it's the feeling of care or sorrow for someone's trouble. Okay, so it's like literally not even the understanding of it, but just the necessary care, because you should have sympathy for others that that you feel empathetic for, but then understand when your sympathy isn't necessarily lending any benefit to yourself or the other person.
iDubbbz dropped a video apologizing for his old edgy content. Y'all know the story. It was fine if he wanted to move on. He's free to do that. But then he dropped his out. His reasoning as to why he made the type of content that he did.
Of course I have empathy, but I never did. I think only in these past couple of years have I gained the ability empathy, and I've realized it because I just can't help myself but feel for other people's pain and suffering now.
Unless they're your Jewish best friends, I guess.
Okay, so he didn't have empathy, and now that he's gained it at age 32, he can't help but feel for other people's pain and suffering. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that one in mind, all right?
You know, my empathy meter's only maybe a quarter of the way filled up, potentially, but it's at least there.
Who could forget this out? We love this out, the empathy meter. He slid that in just in case he forgot to feel a few people's pain. You think it's funny? You think the empathy meter's funny? The empathy meter's bad, okay?
I just want you guys to know that you can unlock ability.
Can you guys tell how funny I find Cameron by how much I'm laughing? I mean, legitimately, I think what he's calling out is good, because I do think the people that use performative empathy and stuff is bad. And like what I was saying before, what he's saying is, I think, also kind of bad because of what I was saying before, which is like having empathy and sympathy is important, because if you have sympathy without empathy, what you're going to do is be taking actions in which you think, I care about the way that you feel, I care that you're upset, I care that you feel bad, so I'm going to do the things that I think is right to assess the situation. But you're not necessarily understanding what the core issue is in that person's problems. And you might be like, I always like the analogy of like, you might be putting a band-aid on bullet wounds. I think that imagery is nice. Because a lot of the times I feel like that's what people do, is they think that it's these momentary shifts that'll make people happy or change circumstances, when in reality it's like these long, like arduous steps that really like break you in certain ways, but will help rebuild things that are necessary within.
Empathy, if you experience more life, it might take you getting hurt a little bit, but it's worth it. It is so worth it.
It is so worth it. Woo! You feeling that empathy? I'm feeling that empathy. So his overall message laid out a couple of years ago about his empathy was that he gained it at age 32. He now feels for everyone's pain and suffering, with the possible exception of the occasional miss as a result of that low empathy meter. But most importantly, if you put your heart and soul into it, acting up just thinking about it, you too can acquire empathy. Woo! Oh, praise the Lord.
Let that Holy Ghost language come up out of you.
What a fuck.
I'm a fixer. I always want to help people solve their problems, and I've had to learn the ability to just be there for them and listen. Yeah, and that's important too, because sometimes there are things that can't be fixed. I mean, honestly, like I'm saying, there are long, arduous steps and things that will take like a... And that's kind of what I mean, is that there's nothing that you can necessarily do, and all you have to do is hope that a mindset can change and kind of be a domino effect onto a better life for them. This guy makes Yandere Simulator videos before this, by the way. Yeah, I did see all of that. He didn't make Yandere Simulator videos. I think he made Yandere Simulator music or something. What was it that he made? Didn't he like make a bunch of music? Main menu remix, simulator original soundtrack, official audio, full album stream.
Fucking what a whole...
To be fair though, Yandere Simulator, it's not as bad, because I think he was like 16, 17 when he was doing that. Actually, I think that's off. He was probably like, what is it? He's 21 now. How many years ago was this? Oh, it was only a year ago. Oh no, he was 20. 20 playing Yandere Simulator.
Wholesome message, dude. If you're a fucking sociopath with zero life experience, by God, like, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just an idiot, but
he was a composer for the game. Oh, that's maybe worse. Come on, Cameron. These skeletons aren't even in his closet. They're just sitting on the couch.
Pretty sure most normal people just kind of have that empathy. I'm pretty sure it's just there, okay? This isn't some life journey usually you have to seek out, okay? I can't be the only one. Maybe people are just built different, and I'm just a bigot. Regardless, there's a little brief rundown of Ian's empathy lore.
Fuck my wife. I'm sort of a cuckold man myself. Please, have a great time.
Now, let's move on to our next empath. The tyrant of Tylenol himself, Dark Viper AU.
I was literally speechless. I did not speak that entire time because I was so confused why we were starting the game. I have never been this mad at a person the entirety of my life.
A quick rundown of Dark Viper for those unfamiliar. He's a YouTuber with a storied past and different ventures. He started as an atheist channel where he debated Christians, and then he went on to this freeboot gig where he was basically upscaling.
Oh, I did not know that about Dark Viper AU's past. That's kind of hilarious, I can't lie. Because I'm not, I won't lie, I'm definitely into that kind of content to some degree. I've watched, I was watching Alex O'Connor back when he was the Cosmic Skeptic. So, you know, I've been on Atheist Tube for a while. But that is what's pushed me towards being more into religion. But I do find it funny that instead of going into politics or something else, he went from religion to GTA 5. It's a good. I mean, hey, go where the money is, my friend. That's what I always say.
Different debates and whatnot until it eventually got demonetized for, you know, stealing content, which is very ironic. He also ran a reaction channel at one point, I'm pretty sure, until eventually becoming a GTA speedrunner. And for the past several years, he's been one to stick his little nose into all sorts of controversy and sometimes starting some drama of his own. He's got a history of horrible responses to criticism and just general schizo behavior that's been well documented. If you're just unaware or one of his diehard fans, I recommend you guys watch the videos about him by the British Runner, who go way deeper than I'm willing to go into today. But for the sake of this video, I'll go over a few notable examples. He constantly inserts himself into drama, going on aggressive rants on Twitter. He's got the lolcow gene of unnecessarily responding to absolutely everything with pages and walls of text. Oftentimes he executes that classic cycle of starting some shit or attacking someone, and then asserting himself correct, then his shitty behavior backfires, and then he plays the victim. He's got this crusade against React content, which, as someone who's pro fair use and heavily critical of lazy reaction.
Has anyone else mentioned Ryan Beard's video of today making fun of Shredder's death? That wasn't the topic of the video. Well, what? He did that in a David video?
On September 16, I killed my dog in a dream, only in a dream.
Hey, how's it going?
Is that what that's trying to be? Is it? I don't know, maybe. It could be read that way, but if he has Yorkies or something, it could just be that he's talking about his own dogs. The outro too? Oh no, let me pull it back up. Oh, it's the rest of the song.
I don't wish to bring... How's it going? So in case...
I think I just saw...
I don't wish... How's it going? So in case you've been living under a rock...
Sorry, this is kind of important. Oh yeah.
He shit out his brains, and then he passed away, but only in my dream. And then coincidentally, my real dog died on that very same day, but that had nothing to do with me.
He's either talking about Shredder, because he said the cheese bar. Sorry, I kind of jumped ahead.
I fed him too much cheese. He shit out his brain.
It's either... Yeah, no, there we go. Yeah, literally. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh my god. Bro. Just why? Just like literally why? Just why? What's the fuck? Why is this necessary? It's not even just literally using the image. Like, I was going to give him a pass for being coy, for being a bit coy about it. Ryan wants to show that he is against both sides. It's just such a fucking, like, bro, why? Just literally why? It's untrue. And if you wanted to do something, this video just came out. You could have rewritten the song real quick and talked about Hassan and his dog, right? It's more relevant and, like, topical in the moment. This really does just seem like a fucking, I don't know, that's just weird. That's really weird. Yeah, why go after a dead dog, bro? Literally. Especially, like, it just seems so fucking pointless in that video. It's a video about David. It's a video about David and the fucking David situation. Why the fuck even, like, why? It's just so dumb. Like, here's the thing. I do this content. I talk about H3 related stuff and do H3. If I'm making an un-H3 related video, I try my fucking hardest not to talk about Ethan or Hassan or other things because it's fucking unrelated and pointless. It's just so weird. It's just weird. Yeah, like, and it does just seem like Ryan disagrees with Ethan probably on certain political views, so he doesn't want to seem like he's aligned with Ethan. He's bipartisan. He doesn't have any view. He doesn't have any stake in the game. Sorry, did other people not say? I don't care to watch the whole thing, honestly. The video itself, it just seems like it's a David video. It seems like it's something. Let's just continue with this. Well, I think Tiffany's the one who brought it up. Did you watch the full video? No, it's fine. It bothers me too. Did you watch the full video? Was there anything else related to it? Like, or was that literally it?
Videos, it sounds innocent enough until you realize how extreme he is with it. He claims all reactors are bad people. But before I go any deeper with that, this is just like a common trend with Dark Viper. He just doesn't understand nuance. There's just never any in between. Anyways, in his tweet, he attaches a 14-page document, where he shows how strong his empathy is. He unironically makes the case that React content is comparable to date rape. I'm not joking.
There's a whole section in here where he basically compares reactors to sexual abuse criminals.
Cameron, you don't want to go down this line of argument with him. I've showed it once and I'll show it again because it's so funny. Dark Viper AU. Oh my god, again? Oh, okay. I thought he made a new video, but I think it was just the same one. Is it this? No. God damn it. I wish I had this pulled up. Let me just play it for a second more.
And insinuates that they'd be likely to spike your drink at a party, take silence for consent. Basically is comparing React content creators to rapists.
What he said was, he specifically tries to argue that's not what he's saying. It's definitely what he's saying. But what he claims that he was saying is that they wouldn't do it themselves, but their morality is in the same ballpark, is kind of what he was saying. Too much Dark Viper yelling in this video. Dark Viper did a five-part series. That's how long? This is 4.5 hours plus 2 hours plus. That's 3, 5. 9, 10. So probably like almost 11 hours worth of content. He did almost 11 hours worth of content debunking the Willie Mack show. We're going to be discussing Viper, and he left not a 14-page document. Is it a part of this? It's a 90-page document explaining why it was. I remember I read through part of it and I ended up not talking about this because the points that this person is bringing up, they have legitimate claims in certain things, but using there were certain issues with the methodology, I suppose. But yeah, you don't want to get on Dark Viper's bad side. He will make an 11-hour series on you. You don't want to do it.
Completely unironically, it's not some edgy joke or anything. It's posting cringe on main that he truly believes and defends in the comments when someone called him out for it. It says, yeah, reactors are likely to commit sexual abuse. He says it's hyperbole, but only slightly so. The difference between actively ignoring consent for financial...
He does. Okay, so he said this on Twitter. I remember him going more heavily into it, being like, no, I wasn't saying that they are doing it. I'm saying that their morals align the same and that it's a possibility.
Sexual gain is not so far removed from ignoring consent for sexual gratification.
Calm down! You calm the fuck down!
He does this in order to label all reaction content creators as bad people, while also claiming that everyone fine with their content being reacted to is being forced to because of fucking the way the culture works or whatever. It's a very dumb argument, and it only makes those of us who are fine with transformative reaction content but have a problem with fair use violations in reaction content look bad. Most people initially disregarded the document because of how ridiculous it was, except for most critical who was mentioned in the document. Now, Charlie did get some things wrong while covering it, so in response, Dark Viper made a video where he did correct Charlie in what he got wrong, while simultaneously having a huge fucking meltdown while misrepresenting Charlie.
I don't know what he's responding to here, but I did write a 14-page script explaining it's a 14-page document. You against a 14-page meticulously written page. It's 14-page meticulous page. It's 14 pages! On page 14, Dark Viper, fuck the Loch Ness Monster, is 14 pages long. That's a 14-page fuck. Which is why I spent 14 pages establishing we were in the 14 pages of writing. In all 14 pages that I wrote, I fucked the Loch Ness Monster, as I again established so heavily in that 14-page document.
He tried downplaying while simultaneously doubled down on his shitty date rape analogy. By the way, that's a tactic he'll be using a lot throughout this video, so be prepared for that. Where he doesn't refute this analogy, right? But he says, oh, but it's only a small part of the meticulously written 14 pages.
In order to poison you against a 14-page meticulously written document. It's 14 pages!
Despite it being alluded to multiple times throughout the document. This glorious crash out is still quoted to this day. Mwah, it's beautiful. And his reactions to people like Ethan Klein, who did commentary on this video, were about as sane as you'd expect.
How sick of an individual you have to be to do something like this? Like, if he was using it in some wholesome way, or shouting me out in some positive way, fine, but he's just using it to mock me. As I said here,
Why can you not stop lying? Please stop lying! What is wrong with you? Why can you not stop lying?
It's too good.
Yeah, it's sad that Ethan Klein's announcement of taking an indefinite break from H3H3 was clickbait. As someone who has been incessantly harassed by him for years in front of thousands, he is one of those truly deserving of being driven off the internet. A bully beloved by bullies. It would be different if this was a wholesome meme, as we try and use it, but Ethan and his fans clearly do not use or see it that way. In general, Ethan is—
It would be different if it was a wholesome meme, as we try and use it.
Why can you not stop lying?
It's a super wholesome meme. That's why I use this one.
Why can you not stop lying?
And this one.
Please stop lying!
They're good, they're wholesome, they're funny. You're a funny guy, Dark Viper, you just don't realize it.
Has never understood the difference between jokes and mockery. He views insults as jokes because he finds joy in hurting others. A part of the reason why I was more accepting of the 14 pages meme is because I tried to emotionally, or even in the public eye, claim back this meme from Ethan. And he's using it as a way to mock me and attack me.
He also has this gay habit of including featuring ex-YouTuber in the title of videos that he's responding to, despite the video obviously not being a collaboration. And the final major point I'll bring up is why
Yeah, there was him using gay derogatorily for no reason.
I've been careful to show clips of Dark Viper, which is his abuse of the DMCA system. To summarize, in a 40-minute VOD, commentary streamer and
See, people that use like that say gay like that, it is just the best to just go like, what about it is homosexual? And then what about it being homosexual is wrong? It's gay because I don't like it. Duh.
You're gay? Why are you gay?
Gawk lover Chud Logic was covering a 10-minute video made by Dark Viper AU where he was going after Jack's Films on some gay rant about reaction content again. Dark Viper's claim was that because Chud reacted to the entire video, it infringed on his copyright. Dark Viper then hired a lawyer because he couldn't figure out YouTube's DMCA system, who then took half a year to finally strike down Chud's video, which was later restored by YouTube. To be clear, in my opinion, and as well as many others, Chud's video was transformative and could have stood on its own against Dark Vipers, protecting it under the fair use doctrine. Nobody looking for Dark Vipers content is gonna head over to the Chud Logic stream to watch it there. That's just not gonna happen. He's also abused the DMCA system on other platforms to hide clips of him raging and one clip of him pulling an iDubbbz.
Bullshit. Wait. I said it with an A.
Man, those two sure do have a lot in common. Now that we've established that Dark Viper is a baby with some very questionable takes when it comes to content, where does
I'm so confused as to why he even brought that up.
Platforms to hide clips of him raging and one clip of him pulling an iDubbbz.
Bullshit. Wait.
Well, this is actually really dumb to put this in your video. Because like I said, I actually do watch a bit of Dark Viper AU, purely for the GTA stuff. But now when he does some, commentary things, I look at it very, very briefly. Yeah, so this was a week ago.
Slightly fast.
Where he did a whole thing, the internet found that clip again, and then basically showed every clip. It went on for too long. He was trying to show all the instances in which he said it. And to be fair, all of the times that he said it, again, were not him being racist, saying something racist. It was just him saying the N-word in like a dialogue line for some reason, just quoting the line that they just said.
I said
Which
it with
to
an
me,
A.
I think just shows that he plays GTA too much.
Man, those two sure do have a lot in common. Now that we've established that Dark Viper is a baby with some very questionable takes when it comes to content, where does the empathy come in? Well, other than a recent situation that this video was leading up to, he likes to throw around the word whenever convenient. However, in practice, I really haven't seen this empathy. What I have seen is him clickbaiting people, saying his ex-friend lied about his dad's cancer, which obviously never happened. Although, I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself. To his credit, he doesn't weaponize the term nearly as much as Ian. Speaking of, let's take a break from Dark Viper and check back in on our old pal Ian.
Every time I go outside, I look like I've been doing math.
Before we move on to our central topic, I want to take a brief moment to look at Ian's empathy in action. His original description was a bit vague, so let's try to understand him a little better. As I went over in my first content cop, we saw his empathy in action as he made a hit piece on his best friend of nearly a decade, in which he had a half-hearted attempt at empathy thrown in the end because the guy who rates apology videos told him to add it. But we've already covered that ground. Let's take a look at some very recent examples of his empathy principles.
This is something that people get confused about. Empathy, you don't direct it at everything, right? You get a little bit lost if you're empathetic about anything and everything, right?
What? People get confused. No, that was you who implied that. Don't get it twisted, all right?
I just like can't help myself but like feel for other people's pain and suffering now.
That's why people criticize you every time your little empathy
Cameron
meter.
stole a handicap parking spot sign. What the fuck is up with this guy? You know, I hadn't even thought about that. You can buy him online. He probably did just take it. But, I mean, look at him. He's an ex-iDubbbz fan. What do you expect? He's not even wearing an undershirt under this for some reason.
They're misfires.
If you don't have
He's
any
literally
empathy
going commando under his police uniform.
to give, there's nothing to give. What are you going to do? You can't always do that. So, yeah, it doesn't mean that you can't try, though, sometimes. Like, I try sometimes, even when I'm watching this fucking stupid podcast.
Look at him rub his little brain just to muster that sentence out. Oh my goodness. The more I watch Ian, the more it becomes extremely apparent that he either doesn't understand empathy or he just uses the term performatively. I personally believe the latter. Why? Well, he kind of let the cat out of the bag. Not everyone will have empathy for everything, like in situations that they can't relate to or just don't understand. I agree, and it's true. But then he, in my opinion, attempts to backpedal on that statement by saying, well, you should always try. The reason he does that, of course, is to keep the performance going. Need I remind you all of the time that he performatively added the clip of him crying about, oh, how much he empathized with Ethan and Hila at the end of his hit piece about them? Now, let's be charitable and say it's not performative. If only I could get a clip of him actually exercising this empathy. Maybe then we'll have a clear understanding.
I feel like Cameron has a lot of growing up to do. Yeah, I mean, it is funny because it is like a lot of the time like I think the same thing about Loner Box in some instances, because Loner Box will be like, he called out somebody for saying gay in a derogatory sense, but then he goes and says the R word like in the same breath and like the same couple sentences. And I just feel like it is like the pot calling the kettle black in some instances, especially when we're talking about like somebody's ethics or like, you know, something like that. It's kind of a weak argument to use when what you should be talking about is like the specific actions that they're making.
He's claiming that they were paid to come smear him on the show.
So this is a great moment where I am able to exercise empathy, right? Let's pay attention to how it works. It's totally possible that
as an elder statesman, I feel like I can make these statements. Very true. You have the authority.
My boxing coach, my disgraced boxing coach, just wanted to come on and talk shit. And he had no expectation of receiving any money. But he did receive money. And that was in the live stream. It all happened simultaneously, basically. They can, you know, fucking squabble over, well, they came on and then we paid them. They had no idea. Here's proof they had no idea. They were paid. That's the fucking point. Getting paid is the point. It's not the order in which things happened.
So empathy is...
Again, I think you're missing the point of what this clip is actually showing, which is Ian sidestepping from the position of you were getting paid to go on here to do this. Or I guess he's not even sidestepping it. He's kind of doubling down on that, being like, well, they did get paid to go on and talk shit. Acting as if the and talk shit is like it's a secondary clause. We don't care. Push that off to the side.
Is lying that your boxing coach was paid to smear you on a podcast, then lying about the fact that you said that in order to make an entirely different point as if you never said that they were paid to go on the podcast.
They already spilled their guts. They were getting paid like $5,000 to go on this podcast.
I'm going to be sending you guys $5,000.
No, no, they were not. They were promised a bonus that you did not pay, so he paid it for you during the show. It was during the show. They were not getting paid to go on the show, you fucking liar. I'm not seeing it. What it looks like to me is you being a malicious snake, not an empath. But hey, I'm 21, not 32. Maybe I'm just not getting it yet. If you're watching, can you send me a Teddy Fresh hat? I'm a hat collector. I want a Teddy Fresh hat. DM me. I want a Teddy Fresh hat. So he's a performative empath. I believe he has empathy. However,
no, you don't get anything, Cam. Stop saying stuff is gay.
I also believe that he uses the term to virtue signal towards people's morals whenever convenient. I think he's a selfish empath, which is kind of gay. I'm going to be real. This has nothing to do with the video, but I just wanted to point out how funny and empathetic it is.
Lonerbox is autistic. I mean, honestly, I don't care. I think, you know, using diminishing language, you shouldn't just get a pass. He's using it to diminish others, regardless of your own like mental state. I don't think that really matters. I don't know. Doesn't change much to me. I don't think like a gay guy should be calling people the F slur. God damn it, Alex. New guy in my office looks just like Dan. Oh wait, this was Scrub. Scrub little boy, thank you. New guy in my office looks just like Dan. During a meeting call with a few employees, I was able to snap the screenshot. Guys, please confirm what I'm seeing. Why would you screenshot some random guy without permission to post it online? Oh, that's great. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I love that so much.
that Anissa would jump in front of a train to defend Hassan from sending the might of Zeus to his dog for moving an inch, but was unwilling to defend Ethan and Neela from the allegations that their dogs were shitting all over the floor and giving their kids diseases. One of those claims has a lot more proof than the other.
Please just fucking go, just stop.
Because, you know, it's fine if CPS gets called on my best friends of nearly 10 years, but God forbid people think that Hassan shocked his dog, even though it clearly looks like he did.
No, it wasn't confirmed Hill Kid. There's no... It was confirmed that it was a fucking vibration collar, or that the dog had a vibration collar. Not even that he used it. That's just what the dog has.
If I publicly said that Ethan and Hila are great with their kids, Ethan and Hila didn't kill their dog, and Ethan and Hila wipe their asses or don't have giardia or whatever the fucking the prompt is.
The only person who would care is me, because I'm like, why did I tweet this out? I'm not tweeting out because I'm not your fucking lapdog.
Oh, well, I guess they are Hassan's lapdog after all. We have official confirmation. Not that we really needed it. So now that we've introduced our two empaths, allow me to explain the conflict here. I'm personally of the belief that people should stay consistent with what they preach into your face. If you're gonna say your old offensive content is bad, disavow your old fan base, and claim to have gained so much empathy that you don't know what to do with, you can't then go on to do the same exact thing with a different coat of paint. This concept was heavily gone over in my first two videos on iDubbbz, where we talked about his conflict with H3, and my point still stands. The same way Ian's empathy didn't extend to Tana in 2017, it doesn't extend to Ethan and Neela in 2025. Except, you know, the differences being the lack of good arguments, offensive language, and the addition of the empathy performance. What Ian is doing here is what many call safe edgy, where instead of maybe calling someone an artard, you diagnose them with a mental illness. It should be just as derogatory by their definition.
Just saying artard is the same fucking thing. Dude, you need to fucking like... This guy's a fucking idiot. I'm actually just like, bro.
Understood this in his Tana content cop, but now it seems to have been replaced by a CTE. A recent example of this would be Ian's latest video where he calls himself stoic and then immediately kills it by bitching about people and attacking people who make fun of him and his weird wife. In this video, he targets, or as I like to say, promotes, several creators including the Kino Casino. Now, the Kino Casino is heavily associated with the Kiwi Farms, which is a gossip site, or in Anissa and husband's case, the opposite of the H3 snark. Ian has made his opinion on the farms very apparent in that he is not fond.
Yeah, they're snark brain.
He needs a Big Brother cap, and maybe you should volunteer. We're about to do the Big Brother program. Hey, dog, bad look. Bad look.
Everyone's snark brained. Oh, this is a snark talking point. This is a snark thing. These freaks are on fucking Kiwi Farms and all these legitimate stalker websites. They are on them.
He attempts to make this point in the video that online bullying is a problem and tries to call out one of the hosts of the Kino Casino, PPP, or Ashton, for saying that when you overshare online, people are going to make fun of you for it.
Because you shared it online?
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's what people are going to do because they want to get a reaction out of you.
Yeah.
I don't think they probably even really believe the stuff that they're saying, but they know because it's extreme and like edgy that it will cause you mentally spiral like this. So that's why they do it.
Now, I'll say it, it's good advice, but Ethan's point totally ignores that advice. Instead, he's upset with Ashton's semantics for using the word people because Ashton has made some of the jokes himself.
He's literally bullied and made fun of her dad who has Alzheimer's.
With a late-stage dementia patient.
He's got Alzheimer's. He wants Ashton to acknowledge that he's part of the problem.
Something that he's very familiar with. But for some reason, in this moment, he refuses to take any ownership of the fact that he is part of the problem. It makes you wonder why. And we get a little window into that at the end of the clip.
This is how the internet works. It shouldn't be, but that's how it is.
Hey, Simple Ian, just so you're aware, the internet is an all-encompassing term which would include him, so he technically did take accountability. Later on stream, he relays the...
Have you seen the new clip of Milhouse distancing himself from Snark because he thinks it's a shot collar and Snark doesn't doesn't, and they mad at him for it. I haven't. I'll look that up real quick. New Olivia video just dropped. I looked it up on the side. New video from Olivia called Britney Justin Drama Breakdown and Life Update. Pretty good stuff. It's like 40 minutes, so I won't have the time, but I will tell you guys to go check it out. When is this supposed to start? It was supposed to start right now, right? We still don't have a title or a thumbnail, and it was supposed to start right now. Let's put up that poll real quick. We're going to try and get through as much of this video as we can. I don't know if we'll be finishing it through this stream. But here, Millhouse. Oh, here we go. There we go. Snark is very mad at Millhouse for living in reality and seeing that the dog collar is a shot collar model.
Onto this random nobody of a streamer just because.
No, never understood why this sub latched onto this random nobody of a streamer just because he liked Ethan at one point in his life. Dude is a bum and has dog shit political analysis.
Because he liked Ethan at one point in his life. Dude is a bum and has dog shit political analysis. Also, I want to make it like I think it's time to divorce myself from the Snark sub. Like if that's what people think, if people are just going to, if this is what people think of me, like I'm just a bum that people latched onto because I don't like Ethan or because I used to like Ethan and now I'm a fallen fan and stuff, then please leave as well. Like this is.
It's just I wish you guys would have seen that Snark is that's like the whole thing, right? Trying to build like a fan base just based on hating other people. It's like you should have just seen that to start. Yeah, like what did you expect courting Snark? It's like it was literally the hate consumed you.
Same message to Ethan, that Ethan's also part of the problem. So it's very clear based on these clips that he's not fond of gossip sites and really wants accountability for the people who are bullying him. But of course that accountability does not extend to himself, as in the video he throws a ton of jabs and insults towards the people that he's covering.
I am quiet, stoic, freaks, this stupid fucking loser and his dumb as rocks wife, absolute fucking creep weirdo. These fucking losers, the fat one and his cohort.
And in a recent stream, here he is shouting at the current H3 Snark subreddit, who not only slanders and harasses Ethan and Hila, but anyone who speaks positively of the pair.
And we are on the Leftovers subreddit. Shout out Leftovers.
Didn't Anissa also go after
No, yeah, Millhouse's real name is Anthony. I actually know his last name, but I won't go sharing it around.
Then for his Tourette's.
It was easier to find his last name, actually, than it was to find his first name, surprisingly enough.
Takes saying that he was on drugs. Wasn't that a thing? Well, in terms of hypocrites, you talk about them. A lot of people do. I've never seen ones bigger than Ian and Anissa. iDubbbz very big hypocrites. It's truly sad. I've never seen bigger hypocrites in my. Now, if you want my personal opinion.
Yeah, they were an hour late on Friday. Crazy stuff, but it was a fun episode. So sorry I wasn't there, guys. I know my tailbone was fucked. The one day that I'm gone is the day that they're super late. The day that I was needed the most. I felt I was becoming the Avatar. That's what this haircut was.
And I don't care how edgy any of these people want to be. But you can't be inconsistent about it. Otherwise, you're either a hypocrite or a bigot. Or in Ian's case, you're both. Also, for context, this was Ashton's response.
Monetizing.
There is no Anthony, only Millhouse. Anthony's last name is actually Anthony, the fiction. It's Alex's brother. I didn't want to out him, but since everybody's asking.
Your own father's illness. No one needs to know about your father's illness. Leave your family members, their issues, their problems, their illnesses in your private life, and it will stay private. I'll say this too. Because they're going to play these clips of me like dunking on Ian, having to live with the father that has dementia or whatever. I'm not doing that to dunk on the father. I'm doing that to dunk on you and Anissa. And by the way, Anissa's father will never, ever see Kino Casino. And if he does, he'll forget it very quickly.
Okay. I feel that alone demonstrates my point, but we're not done yet. And it'll get a lot darker as we continue. But first, I need to take a little trip to a land down under. It's time for a viper hunt. Crikey, mate. We're out in the hot down under. We're looking for a viper, a dark viper to be exact. He's a slippery little snake, mate. Approaching the jungle, down under, that's where we are. I had to leave my crew behind because it's a very...
See, doing this type of content is hard because you have to make skits for it. And making skits isn't easy, as we see here. It's not an easy thing to put together a good skit.
Dangerous mission. But all we know is that he likes 14 pages. So wish me luck, mate. Alright, mate, crikey. I've been out here for a while, looking for the Viper. Oh, a squirrel just fucking fell. You gotta find the 14 pages. It's a key sign. Finding the Viper. Stinky little bugger. Crikey. What's that over there? Oh, crikey. Oh my goodness. Yeah, mate, this is the Viper. 2, 6.
Is he doing a Slender parody in the big 2025?
8. I'm getting scared, mate. 12. 14. What does it mean? What does it mean? Oh, blooming bloody hell, mate.
The way I see Cameron is he's a kid having a great time filming silly videos. His wisdom will come. The wisdom will come with time. He's not doing so bad with his takes, in my opinion. He does sound at least critical in some regard. Like he tries to think of things like from a critical lens. He's willing to change his opinion. So like I think that he isn't necessarily like doomed, but like Madman said, he's definitely got some growing to do. He sounds more British. Crikey, you gotta come more down low. You gotta speak from underneath your tongue. You don't want to be talking too, because when you're talking higher, it sounds a little bit worse. I know my Australian isn't the best, but it's better than his. Crikey.
Blooming bloody hell, mate.
Oh, he literally just completely blew the immersion there. Oh, blimey. Blimey. See, my favorite accent is the Cockney accent. I love me a good dirty Brit.
I've never been this mad at a person in the entirety of my life.
It's 14 pages.
That is a good point. He is not perfect, but he's a great replacement for Content Cop. Let's be honest. He isn't. It's like, yeah, it's like it is the transition that we need. You know, it can't be an overnight success. He's got to slowly come into himself, and one day he will become the sheriff. Right now, he's deputy. He'll reach it there eventually. He'll become lieutenant and chief. He'll become sergeant. Climb those ranks.
I have a confession to make. A brave take that even the strongest of men could never say.
So it sounded good until you said a little bit worse, and then you sounded like Lennon. True. It's hard. It's a hard. The Australians are just the tougher Brits, the angry Brits.
Take that even has Jesus a little shocked. I don't like politics. I know, right? Real shocking. But seriously, I wanted to get into why myself and many others are just really turned off by it. Trust me, it is relevant to the video. Growing up, I was always really fascinated by history. I mean, I grew up in Appalachia, so any Virginian knows you can't really escape it. So naturally, when I got older, I grew interested in politics. But by the time I reached adulthood, that interest quickly faded. It's gotten to the point where I'll inform myself whenever I need to vote and actively avoid it otherwise, unless I absolutely need to for a video. And there's a very simple reason for why that is, and I think many people can relate. With the rise of social media, the political landscape has become
Oh, you're right. He can't replace Chiefy. We already have a chief, and I'm capping. Damn. Sorry, bro. You're stuck. You're deputized forever.
A war zone of hell. Many people are now more radicalized into their positions and are secluded into their own echo chamber of their ideas because the algorithms are designed to feed them what they like. With that, very simple disagreements on issues become friendship ruining battles for some.
That's fair. Aussies are the happier Brits. They get sun. That's true. They're not. I don't mean angrier. I guess I mean more feral. They're happy people, but they'll get you.
There are a lot of people who believe that someone's political take dictates their humanity. To me, that's horrifying, and it's turned me off from politics. And on top of that, I'm a content creator, okay? My job is to make entertaining content. That's it. I'm not a pundit, I'm not a political analyst, I'm a dumbass. And I don't give my political opinions for that reason. And if you expect anything else out of me, that's hilarious, and you're not getting it. Like, do you really need your take on fucking—
Once I reached adulthood, Cameron, you should have started growing facial hair, buddy. Honestly, I think in one of his previous videos he had like a bit of facial hair, and it's a good thing he shaved it.
Immigration or climate change to be validated by the dumbass who
I'll
runs
never
in the
mock somebody for their facial hair, because literally I couldn't grow a mustache until my senior year of high school. It's coming in, like I can feel it, right? I feel the scruff on my cheeks, but it grows in with a little bit of patching. So I'm like, the patches make it a no-go, especially right here where I have a disconnection from my mustache to my beard. There's a little too much skin there, so it doesn't work. So that's why I shave it all down. Don't want to be walking around with a neck beard. So it's all about shaping your style. Things will look good for you that won't look good for others. It's about finding that look.
Bushes for content.
You look like a 2K creative player. You could literally create me in any video game, I'm pretty sure. I've done it. In most video games, I'm able to create myself to a pretty good, like, a relatively good likeness. It's surprisingly easy. And I think that's why people tell me all the time, you look familiar. Do I know you from somewhere? You probably know somebody that looks like me. You've seen them.
Are you that insecure in your beliefs? On the occasion that politics do come up on this channel, it's because it's tied to a situation
of— my son is almost 18 and he can barely get a little peach fuzz on his upper lip. Tell him there's hope. Tell him it's not all for loss. There is hope out there.
Covering, and I've unwillingly had to learn about it. Anywho, that's my rant. Back to the video.
See, it's sad for me though, because literally my dad and my brother can both grow big ass bushy beards. Like literally, my dad has like, I think he has his shaved down right now. My brother's is really long right now. And it's like, I want a nice big beard. I could grow like I should just grow like a really long chin, like chin beard, and like spike it, and look like a true wizard. I can't get over how strong your hairline is with the bald. It almost looks like a tattoo. Thank you. Trying my best. There is a little bit of a flub up over here. And I think it's just because I haven't actually shaved my head like down like this in a long time, and I need to do like I need to clean up my hairline just a little bit.
Okay, so my next subject is about the Charlie Kirk situation from last month that 99.9% of you are probably aware of. Who can forget the autism announcement at the funeral? Nevertheless, I'd like to provide the context and share my perspective, as the internet is quick to forget. As a quick aside, I'll be the first to tell you that there are several things I disagreed with Charlie Kirk on. I've also criticized him and his format several times on stream. However, that does not justify what happened. So to recap, on September 10th, 2025, at Utah Valley University, conservative influencer Charlie Kirk hosted his first event of his American Comeback Tour. At these events, he would often debate audience members, primarily college students, who disagreed with him. These debates were part of his Prove Me Wrong debate series, and this event was his first of many planned tour stops. Around 3,000 people—
Oh no, Cameron giving his opinions on the Charlie Kirk assassination. Oh no, where's this gonna go? If I was a guy, I would def have a beard. Facial hair is the guy's version of contour. That's the way I see it. It's like, men don't wear makeup very often. You can. It'll make you look beautiful. But facial hair does help do the same thing of like, if you have smaller lips or like maybe like a puffier jawline, like your jawline isn't as defined, beard helps kind of, contour that, where it makes it appear as though you're handsomer than you are.
People attended the event, crowded around the amphitheater where Charlie was speaking. The crowd primarily consisted of college students aged 18 through 24. Others in attendance included younger teenagers along with their parents, faculty, and other off-campus individuals. It is also rumored that Charlie's wife Erica and their two children, a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, were also in attendance. Things seem to be going to plan. However, as many of you know, things quickly took a dark turn. At around 12:23 p.m. Mountain Time, while Charlie was debating the second speaker, a single shot was fired from the rooftop of a nearby building, striking Charlie in the neck. Due to the bullet likely hitting his jugular vein, an intense fountain of blood quickly poured from Charlie's neck as his muscles tensed up before quickly collapsing onto the ground. As the crowd ducked in fear, Charlie was rushed to the hospital while the news rapidly spread online. Graphic videos of the shooting spread on the internet like wildfire, leaving even the most desensitized to graphic content feeling sick and in shock. Meanwhile, in the hospital, after multiple procedures including emergency surgery to save his life, Charlie Kirk was pronounced dead. President Trump announced his death on Truth Social, but the truth of the matter is, Charlie Kirk was likely dead before his body hit the ground after being shot. To put it mildly, the country was in shock. I'll speak for myself and say I was even pretty shook up by this. My entire day just stopped, and I felt physically ill after seeing the graphic videos of the assassination. Prominent figures in the political space were quick to condemn the violence. Other conservative figures were in pain, and other polarizing figures were in fear. However, there were also a good chunk of people who were very happy about the news, cheering, dancing, and raving over the murder of a 31-year-old father. I want to make this very clear.
I mean, legitimately, I have heard that claim a lot, and I will say that on Twitter and TikTok videos some people made, but I'm not like seeing people go out and like, because like even like how many people were actually, let me look this up. Charlie Kirk. Because honestly, from all of the big names, it seems like everybody condemned it. Okay, yeah, because people were saying, so I'm on the, I don't know if this is true, like actually a good fact checker, but they were saying that there were like protesters outside of his memorial. Oh, so the protesters outside the memorial were not liberals or Democrats. They were members of the Westboro Baptist Church, which is a fringe religious group based in Kansas, for those who don't know. Signs visible in video, such as "Sins breed violence" and "America is doomed," are consistent with Westboro Baptist Church rhetoric. Similar slogans have appeared in past gatherings. Such protests. Okay, so it was the Westboro Baptist Church protesting. But that's the whole thing, is people just, I mean, I think the grossest part, because people want to talk about, oh, some people were celebrating it, people were this or that. I don't care whether that people were celebrating it or condemning it or whatever. So many people were using it as a means to get clout and get views and get popularity and get like some kind of recognition in the time as either somebody speaking out against or for it. And I find that to be the most disgusting part, because people like Tim Pool. Tim Pool has no fucking insider information on any of this, but he was tweeting out shit like, "Charlie Kirk is alive, he's stable in the hospital, I know from a reliable source," and then 2 hours later posting, "Charlie Kirk has died." Like, it's fucking sick. It's actually disgusting that like the type of people that are actually like going out and trying to make a name on both sides, the people that were acting like his death was a good thing, because like political violence just isn't good, just in general. And I think that's plain and simple, and everybody should agree with that. Because like I had this argument in a Reddit comment section, and we talked about it previously on another stream, that like people talk about, assassinations can cause change, was basically the claim that they were trying to make. But it's like those assassinations can cause change for the worse, because you look at something like World War One and Franz Ferdinand getting assassinated. That led to a destabilization, which created the circumstances that caused the regimes with Mussolini and Hitler. Like, it's quite literally like this type of destabilization is not a positive means of change, and it's so It's just like it's dumb. And I just think on both sides the division that was sown by it is the most disgusting part. The people trying to benefit off of it. Yeah, they still are. Charlie gained like 2 million followers after his death. Yeah, it is just crazy. I don't know. We got a title and thumbnail. Let's check it out. Hassan bad, dog good. H3 show 200. We love to get these simple ones, these early on. At least they AI'd Hassan this time where he looks a little bit gaunt. He looks emaciated in this image. Why did they starve Hassan before they took this photo? What happened?
You don't have to like Charlie Kirk. You don't have to agree with or like what he believed. You don't even have to care that he died. You're free to feel how you want, and I won't stop you, judge you, or...
Yeah, all violence is bad in my honest opinion. And I think people need to realize that more. Even justifiable self-defense is still bad. It's not that it's unjustifiable. It's justifiable. You should defend yourself. And if it's necessary in the instance and the person attacking you dies, that I think that's justifiable. But that doesn't mean that it's a good thing that that person just died. That's like the whole, like, both of those things can be true at once. Sometimes you can be forced to commit a wrong action for a justifiable reason. Hassan has Destiny jaw in the thumbnail.
Chastise you for feeling that way. But I will say I think that celebrating or justifying the assassination is disgusting. Pause! Why am I telling you this? Why is the content cop moral flagging? Well, it ties into our key topics today: empathy and the freedom of speech. Let me explain. I think you should be able to joke about or say whatever you want within reason. Now, I'm no free speech absolutist. That historically has led to degeneracy. I'm looking at you, YMS. However, when it comes to jokes, I think everyone has the freedom to have some dark humor. With that said, you also can't be a pussy about it and try to moralize it or hide behind a virtue signal. Because those who hear the joke are free to criticize you for it and feel disgusted. So don't try to shield yourself from criticism with more.
Well, and like I kind of shouted out in the beginning, this is a great example, is the Matan Evan on Sal Volcano, or Sal Volcano on Matan Evan.
Hello everybody and welcome back to...
Because in this,
the children,
he doesn't take his side in this and is trying to... What I've always said is the Norm Macdonald style of comedy is true comedy, where you're not trying to make anybody laugh and all you're trying to do is actually just be funny. You're trying to do something that is funny. And sometimes it might take some analysis to figure out what was funny about it. But the people that get it, get it. And Matan doesn't take a side in this debate between the black Israelite and the rabbis, and just does stuff like every time they bring up Israel, he'll just go, tuh, tuh. Just every time they bring up Israel. But then we'll keep saying that he's not speaking, the black dude isn't speaking English and is speaking Ebonics. And he also, because he's a black Israelite, just kept calling him the black. I don't even remember what his name is. He said it in the beginning of the episode, but I literally only remember Matan just kept calling him the black. And all I remember him as is the black Israelite from the episode. Yeah, that episode was wild to say the least. Honestly, good debate though. I love me some religion talk, you know what I mean? And the part I found the most interesting, if we want to break it down, is I disagree with some of the fundamental principles of like the whole the historicity of the claims made by the black Israelite. But it does seem to be that the black Israelites follow the Torah more vehemently than like Orthodox Judaism. because they were making claims, and that was like kind of the point he was making too, was talking about the Talmud and how the Talmud is different, and it's just the, you know, religious law and stuff. But the main point of bringing this up though is this thing is such a wild bit, so crazy and insane. Matan doesn't try and take a side and is just kind of shitting on everybody the whole time, and while just Sal is sat there so fucking just dejected. He's just done. His life is so, it feels pointless. Is a black Israelite just a black guy from Israel? No. A black Israelite is somebody that believes that black people are the true Jews that were, and then Jewish culture was basically stolen by the Edomites. And the Edomites are the Europeans, which all come from the Caucasus Mountain, and they stole Judaism and did. It's kind of crazy. I won't lie. It's similar to black Israelites are similar to why can't I think of it right now? The Nation of Islam, where it's not. It's like the Americanized. It's an Americanized sect of black extremism, using either Judaism or Islam as their foundation. People like Malcolm X was part of the Nation of Islam, and the reason that he changed a lot of his views and stuff was because he went to Mecca and then learned that a lot of the things that the Nation of Islam was teaching was like incorrect, and then kind of changed his outlook. Oh wow, I just learned something. Thanks, Captain. Yeah, it is honestly very interesting. The conversations to be had. I mean, Christians made Jesus white, so, and that's kind of the point he makes, is that the original Israelites were black from 2,000 years ago. They were the original Jews, and there's the 12 tribes, and there's lost tribes, and it honestly is a very complicated kind of bridge from classical Judaism. Yeah, there's so many extremes in this world. Yeah, there really are. Yeah, it's interesting, but they are a hate group for sure. No, definitely. And that's the thing, is any type of extremist group, we have to remember, it's like they're not going to be outwardly hateful towards you because they obviously have goals and things that they're trying to get to, and they understand that they live in a world that has laws and has, like, you know, things that happen. And the main thing is that what they're looking for is to eventually enact basically like reverse like and he does. And honestly, this guy himself, he seemed pretty straightforward. The things he was saying, if he actually believes them, he was saying things like it's all about the under God, that aspect, like the Jews are the chosen people under God, but he does think that black people should rule society. It was one of the claims that he made. And that's like the thing is, like, I don't know. He said that they would, like, it would basically be like demi-law, it seemed. Like, people would be second-class citizens, but they would still have like the same they'd still have like the same rights, but it would just be different. Yeah, they believe in the protocols of the elders of Zion, so yeah. Which is interesting because he also called out these guys for their like the yarmulke and the other hat for being from Russia and like all this stuff too. It's crazy. We all started?
Party to the H3 show. We are.
Oh, that's a fire fucking hoodie. That hoodie is super dope. But okay, yeah, I think that's what we're gonna call it. Honestly, this video wasn't that great. The Cry Bully, he's gonna talk about Dark Viper. I don't care all that much. It was all right, Cameron. I do think you need to up your game a little bit. You dropped the F-bomb. You dropped the F slur at the end. Not cool. But I really do appreciate it. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. doing some other topics as well. Yeah, so that is it. Thank you so much. This is Captain Quasar signing off. Kiss my boot, Edomite. Kiss my boot, Edomite. Kiss my boot, Edomite. Kiss my boot. Kiss my boot, Edomite.